Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. Russian forces are continuing to attack Ukraine despite ongoing discussions regarding a possible ceasefire. According to Ukrainian officials, 165 Russian strike drones were launched overnight. In Odessa, more than 20 people were injured as a result of drone strikes. Local authorities report damage to residential buildings and other civilian infrastructure. Ukraine's State Emergency Service says that several people may still be trapped under the rubble of one of the affected buildings. Rescue teams are currently clearing debris and searching for survivors. Meanwhile, Russian forces struck infrastructure targets in Ukraine's Lviv region earlier on Tuesday morning. Preliminary reports indicate no casualties after the attack. Turning to the front line, according to analysts from the Russian media group Agentstvo, the pace of Russia's offensive in Ukraine has slowed to its lowest ebb in 10 months, coinciding with ongoing talks in Abu Dhabi. Data from the Ukrainian open-source intelligence project Deep State, as well as military experts, show that Russia's rate of territory gains have dropped to levels similar to last March, potentially weakening the Kremlin's leverage in peace negotiations. In January, Russian forces captured 152 square kilometers of Ukrainian territory, nearly 3 times less than in December. The most active Russian advances were recorded between Seversk and Konstantinivka in the northern Donetsk region. However, over the past week, Russian troops captured only 30.4 square kilometers, the lowest weekly figure since spring 2025, when gains fell to 22.5 square kilometers. Analysts suggest that early February may mark an anti-record for Russian advances. This slowdown is likely linked to weather conditions. Severe cold hinders infantry operations, while remaining relatively favorable for drone warfare. During previous negotiation periods, Moscow sought to use battlefield momentum as a bargaining chip, particularly in its efforts to secure control over the entire Donbas region. Meanwhile, developments are unfolding beyond Ukraine. Russia is withdrawing its troops from the Al-Qashimi airbase in northeastern Syria amid recent moves by the government in Damascus to reassert control over territories previously administered by Kurdish forces. According to Reuters, citing 5 sources as well as Arab media, Russian military personnel and heavy equipment have been redeployed from Al-Qashimi to the Hamimim airbase over the past 2 days. Russian forces have been stationed at Al-Qamishli since 2019, though the contingent there was relatively small compared to Russia's major bases in Tartus and Hamimim. Sources say some troops will remain at Hamimim while others are expected to return to Russia. Russia's defense ministry has not commented on the reports. As of January 27th, Russian flags were still flying over the Syria-based airfield, and this despite a Reuters source stating that Syria's new authorities have asked Moscow to vacate the base. Here is a footage showing the work of the reconnaissance unit of the 1st Assault Battalion of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade during practical exercises. So this vehicle is used as a universal platform for combat and logistics missions in a unit's area of responsibility. The Patria 6x6 demonstrates high mobility and autonomy, maximum speed of up to 100 kilometers an hour, range about 600 kilometers. A powerful diesel engine combined with an automatic transmission ensures confident maneuvering both on hard surfaces and in difficult terrain. Fire support is provided by a 12.7mm Browning machine gun, which allows for effective cover of the unit's actions, striking enemy manpower and lightly armored targets during advancement, rotation, or evacuation. Field test results confirm that the Patria 6x6 has the capability to become a reliable element of the modern maneuverable unit's repertoire of weaponry, where speed, protection, and versatility are crucial. In the Konstantinivka region, Ukrainian scouts from the 1st Marine Brigade of the 36th Separate Marine Brigade repelled a Russian FPV attack using their Humvee armored vehicle. The incident occurred during a routine maneuver near the front line. The enemy drone flew directly towards the armored vehicle, but thanks to the quick reaction of the driver and the coordinated works of the vehicle's crew, the Humvee avoided incurring damage by quickly dodging to the left.
Аскар, я монолит, прием.
Что, назад?
Нет, поехали дальше.
Куда?
Туда.
Назад?
Нет, дальше поедем. Аскар, я монолит, прием.
Плюс монолит, плюс.
Я не знаю, что случилось.
The Russians attempted to storm Ukrainian positions, but encountered coordinated defense instead, suffering losses. This incident occurred at night when an enemy assault group approached a fortified Ukrainian line and launched an attack with intense small arms fire. The occupiers used a forward-through grenades tactic, which consists of lobbing grenades into a building where Ukrainian fighters are located, trying to knock out the defenders and forcing them to leave their position. However, the Ukrainian military held their defenses, maintaining their firing points and preventing the enemy from entering the interior. After several minutes of a fierce fire exchange, the enemy did not dare enter the Ukrainian hold. The assault group withdrew, trying to conserve strength and avoid unnecessary losses.
Пошел!
Отходи, бегом.
Давай! Надо резервы! Бегом! Бегом! Помогайте! Помоги мне! Давай! Где флаг? Давай, замени, друг! Кошмар! Бегом! Давай, иди!
And with that footage, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.